Hello, and welcome to Hanging Out for a Living, where we explore the journeys of inspiring individuals who have turned their passions into their professions. Today, we're honored to welcome Jim Pashalidis. Jim, with a remarkable background that blends education and communication, has spent 23 years as an elementary school teacher here at the Rochester City School District, shaping young minds and laying the foundation for future generations. This experience has greatly enhanced his skills in communication and education, allowing him to effectively guide and inspire in various aspects of life. Embracing the philosophy that our real competition is with ourselves, striving to be and to do better, Jim has been a guiding light in various roles. Think husband, father, son, employee, teacher, coach, referee, and teammate. His journey has led him to a significant role change as a licensed insurance agent, specializing in aiding the Medicare population. Yours truly soon to fall into that. Jim's diverse skill set is healthcare consulting, customer service, new business development, and sales positions him uniquely to address the complexities of Medicare. Today, he joins us to share his insights and experiences. So let's dive in to this, what I'm sure is going to be an enriching conversation. Jim, welcome to Hanging Out for a Living.
Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate the invitation. I'm actually honored by the invite. I don't know uh, how I qualify in your world of being interviewed, but I mean, I'm glad to share anything that I can.
You qualify because you are a treasured friend, a colleague, and sir, you know what you're talking about. So you bring a lot to the table. So as I said, let's dive in, have some questions to ask you. So
All
Jim,
right.
yeah. You've always emphasized the importance of communication in personal in and professional growth. Can you share how this skill has played a crucial role in your career, especially in your transition to healthcare consulting and insurance?
Well, Teresa, I think if we're talking about communication and where I learned the value of communication, it starts way before that. And I think the primary relationship, even after your parents and all that, is your spouse. I've been married for 27 years, known my wife for about 30, and I've learned over time, when my communication skills are poor, the relationship is poor and all the other things that come with it. So using that, what I've learned over that time, learning to become better at listening, because communication a lot of times people think is about how you speak, but really it's more about how well you listen before you speak. So that ability to communicate, when I decided with my wife's, we prayed a lot and we just kind of talked about where we were in our lives, what the journey was, where are we going, how can we be of service to others. Um, we had to be clear about what our desires and goals were. And the reason why this Medicare world became a great thing and an option was really not that I was looking to become a Medicare insurance agent or a health insurance agent. I don't think anyone wakes up in the morning or when their kids and say, "Hey, I can't wait to be an insurance agent." They don't dress up, but um, it was just how to help other people. So once we made that transition, it has definitely been all about communicating with the clients, their family members that care for the parents and are the advocates for their parents. And I would say it's the most essential piece. The better you are communicating, the better and stronger the relationship, because this is a long-term relationship in the health insurance field. It should not be just a transaction.
Exactly, exactly. And you spoke of God, and I really believe that God gave us two ears and one mouth for a reason, right?
Right, and you gave me some good ones too, so
Yeah, I
I can
did.
I can extra special here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, adopting the motto "Men for Others" from your high school days, how do you integrate this philosophy into your work with the Medicare population? And what impact has it had on your approach to customer service and client relationships?
And the Men for Others motto phrase is also, it's more of a men for others, men and women for others, service before self. That's
Mhm.
basically the core of what, I graduated from McQuaid Jesuit High School in 1992. And a lot could be said about the entire journey, but it definitely came out of that with the idea that we are here beyond just being financially sound or getting through a day to pay a bill. And sometimes we forget that, the one thing that core sense of being here for others, it helps alleviate the pressures of the other stuff that the outside world kind of puts on us. So it has really been the fulfillment throughout. When I was even a little boy, I remember just I felt good when I did something for another person. It just made me feel good. So
Yeah.
that has been something I kind of lost in my education world. When I was a classroom teacher, we had a lot of other factors, and I just had lost that. And that's where I reconnected and listened better to what I feel the will of God is telling me to go do. So and I'm in the year and a half that I've been doing this full time. Uh, no doubts. I wake up refreshed. I go to sleep with can't wait for the next morning and who I'm going to meet and who I'm going to help.
So it's definitely not a job for you at all.
Not a
It's
job.
no, that's
In fact,
wonderful.
Teresa, if we talked about dollars, the transition I made from having a salary and full benefits to this, where there's none of that, it was not a smart money decision. Every other aspect of my life has improved though. So one day, I'm sure the financial ability to say, okay, this is a business that helps my family to be, because
Mhm.
that it needs to be for me to stay in
Right?
business, to be able to help more people, I must be financially sound as well.
Absolutely.
It's going to get there. It's already beginning to get there, but really, and I'm not just like it sounds cliche or whatever, but uh, what I was missing, I've already gotten. I've made the right decision. And I'm
Absolutely.
very
Absolutely, Jim, and I can speak from personal experience myself. I left corporate America over a decade ago, and, not to toot my own horn or anything, just as an example, I was making high six figures, right? And I'm making less than half that right now. And guess what? I'm making less, but I'm so much happier. It's just an amazing, and it's starting to climb back up there. But here nor there, it just shows you that you've made the right decision.
and don't you think that not only does that make you feel well, but the people around you that love you,
Yeah,
they know it too. I've gotten those
absolutely.
comments throughout this year. Wow, you're different. And I'm like, I feel different.
Absolutely. And you know who really shone a huge light on that is my daughter. When I had made the transition out of corporate America. And she said, have you ever thought about that God showed you that you can make six figures? That's why you did it.
That's a good
That's why you
question.
were there. So I'm like, wow, out of the mouths of babes. And at that time, she was in her late 20s to come up with that.
Well, I know it's not. Let me just. I have to say
No,
this. My
absolutely. Please.
my my the one of the final straws of me deciding to finally just cut the safety net of I have a set salary with the benefits and all that, and just
Sure.
and the security that it provided my family, and we knew what the pension would be in 10 more years. I just punched that clock. Well, was my son, my older son. I was giving him some of my advice, and hey, all your mom and I want for you is to find something that you can be joyful about, passionate about, and the rest will all make sense and it'll come together. And his words were not malicious in any way, but his words to me were, why would my brother or I listen to you? You don't even do that for yourself.
Mm,
And that was like that moment of, you're right. We as individuals are worth it too. And, uh,
right.
and that was my moment as well. Like, okay,
Yeah,
you're
what an
right.
aha moment, right?
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, our kids are watching us. And now for me, it's my grandchildren are watching us.
Yep.
I'm like, whoa. All right. So, Jim, working in a field as complex as Medicare, what are the key challenges you face and how do you navigate them to ensure the best outcomes for your clients?
Well, Medicare, just saying the word can cause some tingles and like nervous
Mhm.
goosebumps around people. And it is complex is one word for it. It's just an ever-changing landscape. The rules change. So as a Medicare broker, you have certain compliance issues that you have to follow. I don't know if you know this, but I can't even this year, I'm not supposed to have anything that says that I'm a Medicare insurance person.
I didn't I didn't know
Medicare,
that.
yeah, because they're saying it implies that you're working with the government. It does not
Uh,
stop all companies from doing it. So the difficulty is what's the level playing field. But anyway, yes, constantly changing. So you need resources. You have to know where to go to find the most current up-to-date information. I have a team. I'm fortunate enough to have a team of folks that are over a decade's worth of experience. So when the newbie, the rookie comes into your life, if you come to me, you're like, oh man, I got the short straw. Let me get someone else. No, it's a whole team of people that have the same goal. The desired goal is, yes, to be successful as a business, but is how do we help more people? And the way to help
Right,
more people is to help each other as brokers. We're all independent. So we could theoretically be in competition with each other. Oh, that's my person or that, but we're not, it's not about numbers here. Yes, you need numbers, I guess, but it's not
sure.
about the number. It's about the person. So so we stay up to date. I sometimes do Medicare 101s, everything that I've captured and we have into a PowerPoint, and I just kind of gloss through the things that people need to know in their specific situation, because that's the key. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people hear Medicare and they're like, well, my neighbor has this and I want that. Well, it doesn't work like that because these plans are based with certain strengths and weaknesses in each of them. And we're the ones who have trained, been certified on the different plans in your county. And there might be as many 40 as 50 in some counties, almost 100
Wow.
plan options. So yeah, you can go on Medicare.gov. And by the way, there's not a plug, but this is what I got put in all my disclaimers. Medicare.gov is a great resource. All the answers to your questions are there. However, navigating that also can be complex. So we're here to be guides through all that process.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, I've got a few more months before I have to go down that crooked path.
I just want, so let me ask you this.
Certain.
When do you think a person should start investigating Medicare? What's your thought on that?
I'm thinking at least 3 months out from their 65th birthday.
From their 65th? Okay. So one, you'd be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't be surprised. Many people don't even do it that early. Some wait till the month before, some after they turn 65, some
Ooh,
well after 65 because they thought their employer insurance covered it properly. And then they find out it did not, and now they have penalties. So, believe it or not, my opinion, this is not a fact, this is my opinion.
sure.
The more complex someone's income is, you may want to start having the training on what is going to happen as early as 62 years old, because you may
Ooh,
find that there's going to be some additional cost to some of these parts, A's, B's, C's, and all that. There might be an additional part cost because of where your income falls. And you may be able to do something about that as you're approaching 65. So it could be as early as that. But yes,
wow.
ideally for most people, 6 months is, I would say, the time to at least know it's coming, because you may have to get some help from your HR department. You may need answers from them, and that could take a while. And then you can feel very calm, unpressured as you're approaching this thing that's daunting to everyone else. And you're going to be like, I'm not daunted by that. I now understand it. Oh, that makes sense. That's what we get when we have our consultations. Oh, really? I didn't know that. People who've been in it for 5 years already are like, wait, I never knew that. No one taught me that.
Right, right. Yeah, I wish there was like a book, Medicare for Dummies 101 or something.
There is. You can go find a book. I think it's the exact same title, but the
Is it
book
not? No,
but the book is just a book. And you know how for
exactly.
us this is a daunting thick material. You're like, wow. So we help.
Yeah,
That's what my skill set is. That's, I think, what I bring to the table here is as an
absolutely.
educator, I identify what needs to be and how to make it so you can understand it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So 6 months. Okay, I failed that quiz. So I still have a
No,
little bit of
no, you were
time.
close though. Hey, 3 months still, you have a shot.
There you go. And last but not least, in terms of new business development and client follow-up, so what strategies do you find most effective in building trust and maintaining long-term relationships?
that is such a multifaceted question. There's so many parts to that. So I think the first thing I ask myself, and you probably do this too, or any of the business folks that are watching, you have only a certain amount of money that you can use to find a way to help your business. And then to me, the two big categories of decisions are, do I use money to introduce to new potential clients, or do I show my appreciation to my current clients? And then what are the consequences of either way, right? So
Sure.
my opinion is, I'm not a salesperson. And if I thought I was coming into something to be sales like, I would not be here. I would not be here. I would not be doing this. I came in because of the fulfillment to me first. That was my initial. And then it's like, but what I provide in service for others. So to me, that's a relationship. And as I call it an audition when someone comes into the first time for a visit and they ask me a question. I go, I just want to tell you what you're going to expect today. And I tell them, this is basically my audition to tell you why you want me in your life. Not just as an insurance, but just why you want me is because this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to get paid, and why I don't even care about enrolling you. Because if you go outside, you're going to find all these enrollment people. And the question is, who's going to be around after? Very
Right.
few. This is where I'm different. I'm going to be there to help you service when you have a question about a bill and you can't get through to the doctor, you can't, that's where I can help. That's not common. So I'd rather spend my money that's going to be used on building new business is by showing appreciation to my current clients. And I call them clients just for this interview, but
Right.
normally they're like family in a lot of cases.
Absolutely.
Some of these folks don't have anyone, they don't have their own family members that will help advocate for them, and I might be it. And that's a pressure filled thing on your shoulders, but I work hard to do that. So by me showing that appreciation, but I tell folks, you're going to ask me, because I've had many ask me, how can I pay you, Jim? How can I pay you? I was like, you'll never pay me. There's no money you'll ever give me. And some people have given me $20 bills across the table just for a consultation. I'm like, I can't. First, I can't, and I won't. I
Right.
said, but the way you show that I did a good job and that you feel I'm that kind of a person who's the expertise and all that, you're going to be going out there when someone in your family or friend circle says something about Medicare now, or even health insurance on the New York State of Health, you're going to say, stop. You got to talk to Jim. And to me, if you do that, the moment you do that, that is way more valuable than anything I could do. So that's how you'll pay me back. And that's what's been happening. So I'm not the person that goes and calls leads. I don't do that. Um,
Yeah.
people, people and their friends or family call me. Can you please help my sister? Can you please help my mother? And that's the way I want to do business. Not everyone does it that way. That's the way I do.
Absolutely. You've hit on transparency. You've hit on how you set yourself apart from other Medicare folks, and also, for the referrals. I mean, that's the way to build business is
Yes.
referrals.
And
That's
would you
called
agree that's
working
slower?
smarter, not. Hmm?
Yeah, it's slower though, right?
It
But
is.
I knew it. I knew it would be, but I want to do it that way. I'd rather have it.
Well, the thing is, if you don't do it like that, it becomes transactional, right? And you're one and done. If you're building those and nurturing those relationships, you're working smarter than harder, right? So,
Yeah. And
but
the other thing apart with the current clients is
sure.
I connected with you because you were referred to me, and
Hmm.
you were referred to me with a company called Mailbox Power because
Yep.
I definitely saw the value in, and again, limited budget for this sort of thing is who am I going to do it to? It's going to be my current clients. So
Absolutely.
sending a card, hi, how are you doing? Happy birthday. Man, you sent me brownies once, and I'll never forget it. And it had my name on it, and it was beautiful. I sent out caramel corn. Those folks call
Oh,
me,
those are good.
and they're like, well, because I was going to do brownies, but a lot of my my friends and clients are diabetic. So I'm like,
Ah,
okay, so caramel corn is even kind of questioning, sketchy, but they all loved it. They appreciate it.
yeah.
They called me, and then guess what some of them did when they called me to say hello and thank you? They said, oh, by the way, can you talk to my cousin?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
It's
so
not,
I didn't do it.
it's
I didn't do it just for that. It was I showed
right.
them appreciation. I stood out to them, and then I also benefited business wise in that way.
Absolutely. And that's a really clear way of you showing that do the right thing and the money will follow. That's it. You know, divorce the outcome, marry the process. So definitely. So Jim, thank you for sharing your valuable insights and experiences with us. It's really clear that your dedication to serving others shines through in your work. For our viewers looking to connect with Jim or seeking guidance in the what I call the Medicare maze, you'll find his contact information in the description below. Don't miss this opportunity to continue the conversation with a professional who truly puts your needs first. Jim, it's been a pleasure having you on Hanging Out for a Living. Thank you for being such an inspiring guest. So until next
Teresa,
time, folks.
Teresa, thank you so much, and you keep spreading the shine because you just certain people just have it. You have it, and I
Oh,
appreciate
thank
you very
you.
much, and I think all your viewers do as well. So thank you.
As I do you. Thank you so much for the kind words. Until next time, folks, keep hanging out for a living. Bye bye.